If you live in Louisiana, you either know someone who lives in Texas or you have relatives in Texas. And of course, I had relatives in Texas. And joining me now on the phone is Mr. Conrad St. Julian, who's my brother-in-law, and he and his wife live in a suburb of Houston. And we just wanted to kind of get a feel of what's been going on there over the last few days. Conrad, I'm glad you could take time out to talk with us on the show. How are you doing?
This is Katrina-like disaster and devastation multiplied several times, because simply the area that's involved and the number of people you're speaking in the range of 10 million people in this area that was affected in some way, shape, or fashion. Not necessarily did they have water in their homes or evacuated, but they were seriously affected in some way, shape, or form. Certainly, at the least, emotionally.
Yeah, and that could be just as bad. We saw so many pictures of people who just came out of nowhere to help other folks, and you know, it just had to be gratifying for Houstonians like yourself to see so many people helping other people that they didn't even know.
It was amazing, Ed. You know, I've been through local emergencies before here in my immediate area, and you know, my neighborhood is a good neighborhood, and we've often helped each other through some minor emergencies. But in a situation like we have been and are in, where the devastation is just unheard of, is simply amazing, the humanity that's being displayed. You have, again, neighbors helping neighbors, people helping people that they don't know. The emergency response agencies, the governmental agencies, are much more responsive since Katrina. I think they've learned a lot since the Katrina disaster, and so their level and response effort is much more organized, and so that's helped a lot. But the humanity of people, not only here in the Houston area but all over the country, is amazing. You have people here in the area that have boats, have gone out and rescued people. You have people that have come from Louisiana, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arizona, who have driven down to this area where there is danger to themselves and have brought food, clothing, boats. They're out here helping people they do not know, simply because they want to help. There are hundreds of shelters out here. They're actually turning down volunteers because they have enough volunteers. They're refusing clothes because they have too much clothes. That is simply amazing. That is. In this day and age of the country being divided by politics, it is just simply heartwarming to see that the real nature of people, not only in this area but in the country, is so overwhelmingly wanting to help, and the humanity that's being displayed is just simply heartwarming.
All right. Well, we appreciate you, and we know in days ahead that will continue. We thank you so much. Give our best to the rest of the family, and we will talk with you soon.
Okay.
All righty.
Real good, Ed.
Thank my brother-in-law, Conrad St. Julian, who lives in a suburb of Houston, for taking time out to talk with us. We appreciate that. Well, in the days ahead, FEMA, the American Red Cross, the United Way, and many other nonprofit organizations, and countless celebrities will no doubt continue to lend a hand. But who can forget the first responders and the other heroes, many will never know their names, who put aside everything in their lives to help others in need? Political and racial unrest, which had top news headlines across our country before the floods in Texas, were checked at the state line, and humanity stepped in. which fulfills something that the Dalai Lama once quoted as saying, "The planet doesn't need any more success. The planet needs more restorers and peacemakers." So we thought we'd take a look back at pictures and video and salute many quiet heroes who helped save thousands of lives when Hurricane Harvey's flood rains made their way into Texas.
Lending my helping hand, putting love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, putting love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Another day goes by and still the children cry. Put a little love in your heart. If you want the world to know we won't let hatred grow, put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. And I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide. Put a little love in your heart, and the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love. Put a little love in. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Just a little. Put a little love. Put a little love in. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love. Put a little love in. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart. Just a little. Put a little love. Put a little love in. Put a little love in your heart. Put a little love in your heart.
And thank you to Carmela Marshall for that wonderful song, and we'll be right back. Well, welcome back to Money Talks. You know, we all are involved, and it's so good to see when people get together and start working together. The unfortunate situation that happened with Texas and the flooding from Hurricane Harvey last month, of course, got so many people involved. And of course, Crime Stoppers has always been involved in terms of what's going on in different other communities. And joining me, of course, is our CEO of Crime Stoppers of Greater New Orleans area, Ms. Darlene Costanza. Good to have you with us.
Thank you, Ed.
Darlene, you know, Texas reached out to us during Hurricane Katrina, which we just don't say celebrate, but we just had the 12th anniversary of.
Exactly.
So tell us about how all that works in terms of you all being in touch with each other.
Sure. We are part of a national, actually there's an international program, but Crime Stoppers USA All of the Crime Stoppers work together, and Houston has been a big proponent and helper to us locally, and we are all certainly across the state, across the United States, looking to see how we can help. I personally, like many people, evacuated at the last minute for Katrina, and I went to Houston and actually went to their offices and had help there. So my heart goes out to them and all of law enforcement, all the first responders.
Yeah. Because I mean, they did a fabulous, and they continue to, even in these weeks after. So we just want to applaud them and things going on. Well, let's talk about what's going on here now. Of course, last month too, you had another time of prayer, and so tell us how that went.
Oh, it was incredible, Ed. We had so many. We had over 47 churches ringing church bells. We had over 33, I believe, schools, Catholic schools, doing special prayers. We had 4 large prayer services. And of course, online, we had thousands of people view online. But most importantly, I mean, you saw all faiths, all denominations, victims coming together. And that's just so incredibly important for us to share in uplifting the community.
Yeah,
and
day
I
of
think
prayer.
it helps.
I think it helps
absolutely
too.
helped.
Yeah. I think a day of prayer, it can't hurt. So and the pastors and the ministers have remained steadfast and connected to their commitment to Crime Stoppers, and that's ministers of all faiths.
Definitely, and what's happening with these days of prayers is we're meeting new ministers or different faith-based leaders, and it's about getting into the neighborhoods, getting into the smaller churches. Night Out of Crime is a huge event for us in October, but what we're really pushing forward to do is to get the churches involved and help us be with you to minister not only in a positive and inclusive way with the different churches, but also in the communities to bring them to know that there's resources there for you. So we encourage any church who wants to do something in October for Night Out to get in touch with us, and we want to help them.
And of course that's easy to do by getting in touch with us with our website and our Crime Stoppers line. But we want to talk about something else that's really innovative, and that's this new app that's being used to help curb crime. Tell us about that.
Yes, and it's actually going live in the App Store as we speak. But we have a mobile app. It's a product called P3 software. But you can upload the mobile app onto your iPhones or Android phones, and it's free. And you can give us information through an anonymous process, which means it's going to keep you anonymous through the entire process. You will be able to locate the Crime Stoppers that you're working with, or the school. We have a campus program, Safe School, and we have our local program, Community Program. But with this, you get a password that it generates for you. Nobody knows your password, and you can share unbelievable amounts of information, including videos, phone, voice messaging, certain still pictures.
This is real time stuff.
It's real time, and we can respond back to you real time. And I guess the best part about this new process is you're going to see the steps of where the information went and how we get back to you what the results were.
Right.
Before, the only way to do that was by calling our office. And certainly you can still call us.
Sure,
all of that still remains. But on this process, once you get onto the app, you're going to be able to see it yourself. And if your information leads to something that is going to allow you a cash reward, we're going to be talking to you about that just between you and ourselves, through the app. So it eliminates another step.
We want to just hit that again, that it is still totally anonymous, because that's how we operate in Crime Stoppers. So people won't know it's you sending the video or you doing whatever. Right.
So if you're involved with a campus program, you're going to be going to find the Crime Stoppers GNO Safe School app in the App Store. It actually looks like 2 little snakes. It's really cute. And then the community program for adults is Crime Stoppers GNO app. And again, the process is anonymous. For the schools who join us, there's no cost to the schools to work with us on this. Certainly for the community and law enforcement, we bear that cost. And I could tell you that we've seen great success in other jurisdictions who have started the program. So we'll see. I hope next month we'll be able to tell you how many tips we've gotten in and just the empowerment that we've allowed students and adults to have by
What's
using
been the
this.
reaction of the different police, and because we're in with 9 parishes, what's their reaction to the app?
They're very excited, particularly that you can see the video. We can post live questions back. They have a little bit more control of the process, and of course everything's via the app, so there's no more paper and pencil, faxing, or whatever that.
Right.
So it's the way the young folks are communicating. It's the way we are learning to communicate.
That's right. We're learning to, right.
Right, we are learning, but everybody's been very, very pleased.
Okay, well, we appreciate that. I'm going to put that app on my phone. Darlene, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Ed.
And as always, we'll see you next month with some wonderful information that you've given us now.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of Money Talks, so stay right here. I'm going to try to work this app without calling my daughter. We'll be right back.
Congregations are coming together.
We are empowering our congregations to become the eyes and ears
to speak up against crimes and violent activity in our neighborhoods.
Through the power of prayer and divine providence,
we can stop the cycle of violence.
Speak up for families.
Speak up for our youth.
Speak up for our future.
Together, we can make the city we love safe for all. For help with a loved one's case or to report a crime, call us at 822-1111 or visit crimestoppersgno.org.
Well, welcome back. If you're one of those people who always wanting to do something creative or what they call DIY, do-it-yourself kind of projects, well, this community is where you need to be, because Delgado Community College now has what's called the Fab Lab. And here to tell us more about that is Dr. Monique Kohler. Good to have you with us.
Absolutely glad to be here. Thank you, Ed.
And you're the project manager over the Fab Lab, that's what it's called over there.
I am.
Tell us more about the Fab Lab, and we do want to let people know that definitely not only students, but community people and older folks like me who want to do stuff can all get involved. But tell us, let's back up and just tell us how the Fab Lab came to be.
Okay, so Fab Labs are a global network of labs that came out of an outreach educational component from MIT, their Center for Bits and Atoms. And Fab Lab NOLA, in partnership with Chevron, who gave us a large donation toward creating this lab space at Delgado, they
basically wanted to make sure that you all were the community group that they wanted to work with.
Absolutely. So Fab Labs offer an opportunity for students, K through 12 students, college students, and the community to come in and have a unique space for exploration, creation, and innovation. And so we provide that opportunity by allowing them access to state-of-the-art equipment such as 3D printers, CNC routers, vinyl cutter, laser cutters, and things like most of us don't keep at home.
Yeah. One of the things that we talked about before we came on the air was that a lot of young ladies are getting involved, and that's one of the things people have talked about globally, getting more young ladies into the technology field. So this is a perfect way to do that.
Absolutely. So I'm a big STEM advocate for underrepresented minorities and women in STEM fields. And certainly we are excited that groups such as Electric Girls is one of my favorite groups. They're a group of young ladies that come in every week to use the Fab Lab, and they take ideas from concept through the engineering process and then to final product, and are able to utilize that knowledge and create something special and innovative.
And when we're talking about community, we're talking about anyone in the community in our greater New Orleans area can come over and participate and take part in the Fab Lab, as well as students as young as elementary school,
as young as kindergarten even.
Wow!
And so one of the goals of Chevron in this project is to allow students to as young as kindergarten to have that space to be innovative and create things. We like to say that it's a space that they can create almost anything they can imagine using the state-of-the-art equipment. So we allow them access to those machines, of course with supervision.
Of course.
But they come in with ideas that you and I may not think about, but we help them to figure it out. We help them on the computers to program their ideas, and then be able to see a tangible product at the end.
Yeah. Are we one of the few Fab Labs in this area?
We are one of the few Fab Labs in the area. We are the 7th of 10 Fab Labs that Chevron is sponsoring. I believe there are a few others in the area that are not sponsored by Chevron, but are available to communities as well. But we're really happy to be part of this global network. When I say global network, I mean across the world. There are 200 Fab Labs that are connected in 40 different countries, all coming out of MIT's Center for Bits and Atoms. And so through their support, and for us with Chevron support, we're able to network with those other labs, gain knowledge from the other labs, what they're doing, and we share that knowledge with each other and with our partners that come in to use the lab.
Right. And it makes it sort of a perfect match for us because we're a lot about workforce development.
Absolutely. And so not only do students have the opportunity to come in, but we open the lab to our community, of course, and for businesses. We are a space where businesses, especially small businesses who may not have access to prototyping their ideas, they can come in and prototype their ideas in the lab. They won't be able to mass produce their ideas, but they could certainly come in and figure out the nuts and bolts of it and tinker around and prototype that idea and then bring it to mass production.
Give back, you know. And I was in a meeting for the Circles of Excellence with the Alumni Foundation, and they were talking about how they've also utilized the Fab Lab and how wonderful it is. So we're so glad that things are going well. And for people who want to get involved, they just simply need to go to the website at Delgado.
They can go to Delgado website, www.dcc.edu, and look at the community tab and click on Fab Lab and all the information that you will need. We're open in the evenings so that people who work during the day can access the lab in the evenings on some days, and then we're open every other Saturday.
Which is super for people who have other jobs.
Absolutely.
Y'all made it really available.
We want the community to come in.
We appreciate it so much.
Absolutely.
And tell Dr. Cozy and everyone else over there I said hello.
Absolutely,
and
I will.
we really appreciate the Fab Lab, and we'll be doing more on it as well.
Absolutely. Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. And if you want to hear more about education strides at Delgado Community College, you may want to be in attendance on October 25th at the upcoming Delgado Chancellor's Breakfast. Chancellor Joan Davis will update the gathering on everything from workforce development to future growth of the college. For more information, you can go to the college's website at dcc.edu. We'll be right back.
What's the best thing about Delgado? You. Delgado helps you achieve your goals, earn a college degree, learn job skills, improve your life. Brand new facilities, lots of locations, outstanding teachers, and flexible class schedules. Delgado offers everything you need to succeed. Know what else? Delgado costs less, half as much as a state university, and you can transfer there when you're done here. Apply now. Delgado Community College, education that works for you.
Well, welcome back to Money Talks. I call this our Did You Know from the historic archives of the Greater New Orleans area. Some 60 years ago, the Greater New Orleans Louis A. Martinet Legal Society, Incorporated, was formed. It's named in honor of a Louisiana attorney, Mr. Louis A. Martinet. He was an African-American lawyer who was key in figuring out things during the civil rights era surrounding the end of Reconstruction, with the objective of encouraging interchange of ideas, promoting legal scholarship, and the administration of justice for all people. Well, joining us now is the president of the GNO Martinet Legal Society, Mr. Royce Duplessis, and it is my pleasure to have you on the show, Royce.
Well, it's my
Thanks
pleasure,
for being
Ed.
here.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you over in my neck of the woods now.
It's good to be here.
Well, let's talk to people, because sometimes people don't know what the Martinet Society is. So tell us what that is in terms of actually what it is and what it does in this community.
Sure. Well, thank you again, Ed. It's an honor to be here, especially on behalf of such an esteemed organization like the Martinet Society. Essentially, what the Martinet Society is a specialty bar association that was founded 60 years ago by African-American attorneys to promote the interests of the African-American attorneys and the community at large. It was founded during a time where African-Americans could not join other majority bar organizations that were, basically closed out African-Americans during that time. So there needed to be a group to promote those interests where attorneys who were fighting for civil rights, fighting for the rights of not only themselves but others, where they could come together, share ideas, share resources, and try to move our community forward. So that was the basis upon which the Martinet Society was founded. Over the years, we've somewhat evolved in terms of our focus, but we've never lost sight of that mission. So now we have a key focus on promoting younger attorneys would-be attorneys to join the profession, and we do that through fundraising for scholarships and community service.
The gala September
9th,
and
yes.
And that money from that fundraiser, of course, goes directly to students.
That's right.
And they have to compete. So tell us about that. They have to be aspiring attorneys.
That's right, absolutely. So it's no secret that the cost of education in both undergrad and law school is becoming very costly for many of our students, and in many cases it's prohibitive. So we understand that need, so we want to raise money to try to offset that burden so that cost really shouldn't be a factor. And even if it is, we want to try to lessen that burden. But to the students who ultimately become awardees, we have an application process where they write an essay about a particular civil rights issue of today and talk about ways in which they would approach it, and also give the Martinet Society some ideas on how we can be more effective as an organization in attacking some of the issues that exist today. So it's a way to challenge the students and also a way to engage the students and try to challenge them to take on some of these issues of today. So it's sort of a win-win.
And you have these first, second, third year, but also you have students now at the university levels that you mentioned to me from Xavier and Dillard that will also be getting.
That's right. This year we're going to have a student from Xavier as well as a student from Dillard, and I'll just give this shout out. Even though I'm a Xavier grad, love my institution and love my alma mater, but Dillard has really stepped up as a major partner, and they have been just right there every step of the way. So we really appreciate all the work that Dr. Kimbrough and First Lady Adria Kimbrough, they've both been great partners with the Ortique Institute over there. So I just wanted to give that plug. Yeah. So we'll have a student from both undergraduate schools as well that are going to get a scholarship.
Yeah. And with the the consciousness of what's going on with throughout the country now, with so much people looking at not really coming together like I think we should in America. Now more than ever, a number of people probably need these kind of things in place so they can have some type of representation, because they don't have the funds and the high name attorneys that could possibly represent them.
I couldn't agree more, Ed. I've never viewed membership with Martinet as being anything that's optional. Now that's just my personal view.
Sure.
But when you look at the times that we're in today, I think it's a stark reminder of how important organizations like the Martinet Society are. We're just, in my opinion, just as important today as we were in 1957. Now, does that mean we have more work to do? Absolutely. I think as an organization, we really have to focus on enhancing our capacity and being more effective on a lot of these issues. Right. But it's important that we understand that we understand the significance of the time that we're in and how we can play a role in addressing some of these ills that we're experiencing. So I think Martinet can be an organization to help address that.
And Martinet is open to all ethnicities.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Make sure that people know that.
Let's be clear.
It started out as for African, but it expanded into all
absolutely. And again, like I'll say again, it was formed out of necessity.
Right.
It was formed out of necessity because black attorneys couldn't join other organizations, but never have we. Our door has never been closed to any other race, ethnicity. If you have an interest in the law and you have a connection and passion for the law, we welcome your membership.
Well, I want to congratulate you. You're opening your own firm. You've been with the Supreme Court for about 3 years.
Yes.
And did some great work over there. So congratulations.
Thank you.
We wish you the best. And
thanks
for being here.
Thank you so much.
And let us know about the Martinet Society. And as you all progress, my past intern who became my right arm, Patrick Jackson, he's enrolled now in school at Loyola.
Outstanding. We'd be happy to. Yeah.
We're wishing him the best, along with all of the new folks who are going into the legal profession or pursuing the legal profession.
That's right. If I may, just www.gnomartinet.com. You learn more information. We've given out over $40,000 in scholarships over the past several years. So we just appreciate you for all the work that you do, Ed.
Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to have more Money Talks when we come back, so stay right here. We appreciate you being our viewers.
Just think, what if we didn't have local TV and radio? Where would I go for local sports, local politics, a mayor, city council, stuff that affects me every day? How about health? Who's covering things that endanger my family? I need to know now, as it happens, from sources I trust, people in my community. No agenda, no bias like you find on cable and social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local station. Text TV to 52886 today.
Well, that's going to do it for Money Talks for this month. Until next time, take care of yourself, do something good for someone else, and remember to stay in peace, not pieces. We'll see you.